Welcome everyone. It is now time for the Roadshow 2018, Winter 2018 to kick off. It is the Co-Ed Championship in a game between the Power Rangers in yellow and TC in whatever that color is, but it's not yellow. Sorry, I'm your colorblind play-by-play analyst, Pease Del Reese, and I'm joined by first-time commentator, Stefano Berardi. How's it going, Steph?
I'm going good. Pleasure to be here. It's nice to be here. Looking forward to the game ahead.
And is it a more experienced more experienced color guy in Rusty Benablicate? Have you done this before, right?
I've never had the pleasure.
Never had the pleasure.
I
Awesome.
waited for an invite from you,
Yeah.
and now today is the day.
It's the first time for both of you. I'll be gentle. I won't take it too rough, of course. We want to work our talent in slowly. Guys, just Stefano, you covered this division for the entire season. What can you tell us quickly as a synopsis between TC and Power Rangers?
Well, to be fair, you have predominant teams that are mostly male athletes on the Power Rangers, but the female athletes are of advantage for TC. So it's going to be a fair matchup, in my opinion, and I'm expecting a good, fair game, and it's going to be close up. It's going to be a close one, and that's it.
And to your point, we see someone like Emily P. Badu all season long, 234 yards, 8 touchdowns, 22 catches. No one nearly putting up that kind of stats on Power Rangers unless it's someone like Serge Pilon, Wade Shallcross, Tam Villadeth. Coming into this game, for someone who hadn't been watching Co-Ed all season, who would you consider to be the heads-on favorite?
See, it's very tough to say because they were number 1 and number 2, TC being number 1, and they had a close matchup that finished 25-24 in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference between that game and now is that TC has their starting quarterback Vanessa Beery in the lineup, and she wasn't present for week 1's matchup.
Does that give them a lot of confidence, do you think, saying, hey, you know what, we played that game down to the wire and we didn't even have a quarterback. Now we have our star quarterback in Vanessa Beery, and you're going to see who we really are in TC.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, they proved that they don't need Vanessa Beery to win the game, but she is obviously a very big improvement, and she was the 2017 quarterback of the year, and she had some stellar numbers this year as well. So I'm looking forward to this matchup.
We're getting ready to start the game. Power Rangers starting with the ball. Kevin Lubin taking the field. Team's a little bit restless from a somewhat of a delay in our broadcast, but we're ready to start. It is 1st and 10, the first snap in the 2018 Co-Ed Finals for the winter season. Ball snapped to Lubin, looks right, goes back to his left, throws across the middle of the field. It is caught and quickly deflagged, but we saw there Jenny Seguin bringing it in for the first catch of the game.
Yeah, she's usually the one that she goes to for them 5-yard to make their first down easier to achieve. So she's a prime target in that sense.
Yeah, she's definitely someone who can get the drive going. Plays like that, very important. But Kevin Lubin now second and about 7. He looks over the middle of the field, breaking the rusher, throws into traffic. It is trapped against the ground, but the ball is not caught. Pass incomplete, second pass of the game going to Valerie Verde. So kind of counterculture to what you were talking about, Stefano. Kevin Lubin looking to his female targets early in the game.
Yes, that's correct. But he's right now, I believe that he is going to try and find either Wade or Serge to get that first down for the 7-yard. And I believe it's going to happen. And
it is 3rd and 7. So we'll see what Lubin looks at here. Scanning over the middle of the field. He had a deep corner, but not willing to take the chance. He throws it as Serge Pilon is going out of bounds. Serge Pilon unable to hold the flutter ball in. Kevin Lubin not really able to get a good grip on that ball.
That's correct. He had to rush out, and throwing on the run was tough to make that play. Serge Pilon almost came down with it, but sometimes it's kind of hard to read.
Yeah, for sure. It's fools rush in this case, Kevin Lubin rushing out and not able to make that play. It's officially a punt. TC getting ready for their first drive. Vanessa Beery, such a presence in the huddle, wouldn't you say, Stefano?
Yes, for sure. She is indeed the captain of that offense. Whatever she says goes.
That's awesome. It's really, really impressive to see from someone who's got a newer FPF resume as compared to a lot of the talent on her team. And she looks to her left. She delivers deep to start the game. and it is incomplete on a post pattern, delivered over the middle of the field. The ball intended for Emily P. Badu, who we spotlight to start the game. Rashti, are you ready to join us?
I am half there.
there was some technical difficulties early on.
I apologize for this.
No worries,
But
no worries.
Emily Badu is an incredible athlete. She used to do a lot of CrossFit, and she was one of the top one in Canada. So she is like a man, I would say.
That's honestly, it was very impressive. It looked like she was even, and like you guys know the famous football expression, if you're even, she's leaving. In that play, she was leaving on the post pattern, just unable to connect on the first pass. Beery now scanning the defense. She gets the ball on 2nd and 10, delivers to the outside. It is caught on the sideline. A great catch by Guillaume Fillon, one of the more sure-handed players on the roster.
Yeah, definitely. He's indeed a target that makes them easy plays there. He's the go-to person if she has to rush out, and she looked down the field. There was no openings, and she found him out there, and they made the play.
Fillon's been impressive in the playoffs, but wasn't a huge impact on the season. 96 yards. However, he did score 3 of the touchdowns in the game. So he's sort of a guy that I don't think Vanessa Beery will go to often, but on key downs and perhaps just to get this game started, go and run the outside hook to him.
Yes, he's definitely the guy for that play.
Now we have 3rd and short. Appears to be about 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Vanessa Beery gets the ball. Rusher bearing down. She delivers a deep post pattern again to Badu. Badu with the alligator arms on that one, Rashti.
I do agree. I thought that she had a touchdown. She made a beautiful corner post and was wide open down the middle, but she dropped the pass.
And that's something I think Vanessa Beery is looking to attack early and often.
Yeah, throughout the season, I saw that myself, that was their go-to route between Emily Badu and Vanessa Beery. It's worked out very well for them. I expect them to connect on it at least once in this game.
And we see, Rashti, often passers who are touch passers like to throw that deep ball over the middle of the field because it's a shorter throw than throwing deep to the sideline.
Very true. But Vanessa is very special for this because she likes to go deep, and she will throw that straight through to the wideouts on the outside or down the middle.
Vanessa Beery now 4th and short. She gets the ball, looking quick, delivers to Jacques Voigt. It passes jumped by Serge Pilon Jr., and the ball knocks safely out of bounds.
Very well played by Serge Pilon. It was an out back in by Jacques Voigt. Normally that pattern is wide open for Jacques Voigt, but Serge did an incredible play on this.
Is that a bit of familiarity, the players knowing each other, knowing how Jacques Voigt runs his routes and how he can undercut in that case?
I would say yes, big time. And that's what Serge saw on this.
K-Lube now getting ready. His second drive of the game. Gets the ball just past half field. Delivers a quick pass. Some confusion in the middle. But Alex Pilon, all over the place as he tends to be, catches the short hook that may or may not have been intended for him.
That was Serge Pease, but yes, he did make that play.
I said no?
No, you said Alex.
Look,
That's
they're
okay.
twins. It's not like just put like a
The twins.
nail
Just
polish
got
on the back of their neck so I know which one's which.
For sure, for sure.
Mr. Pilon made a great
Yes.
catch. I do agree.
From now on, rest of the game, it's Pilon.
Everybody will know who Pilon is.
2nd and short for Kevin Lubin, about 2.5 yards. Kevin Lubin looks deep over the middle of the field, came back to the hook, but now it's covered. Throws it to where only his receiver can make the catch, and it is brought in. Great catch for a first down.
Yeah, Wade was made a spectacular catch because it was a little underthrown, but Wade was able to adjust and make that play.
Wade Shawcross, a guy I've known being in the league for a little while, a name somewhat forgotten, wouldn't you say, Rashti, over the past couple of years, not necessarily having predominant seasons in FPF, but now in co-ed having a really good season this time around.
I do agree. And he's surprisingly fast for somebody his size, and he's very efficient.
Kevin Lubin now in the shadow of the goal line. Delivers a quick pass to Serge Pilon. I said it right this time. Pilon deflagged just before he can get into the end zone at the front pylon.
Yeah, as you can see on that, it was a simple out route. Serge Pilon usually makes the most out of that play, but it was a great tackle made by the defense.
Kevin Lubin has been a lot calmer, a lot more relaxed these days. We see it in his numbers too. 30 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, nearly 1,000 yards passing, 949, despite not playing every game. So it's been very impressive. And now he's on 2nd and goal. He continues to roll out as a receiver again. This time comes back across, pitches to Wade Shawcross Jr. It is caught for a touchdown.
You can see on this, Serge Pilon attracts so much attention that everybody shoot him on the outside, which left the middle wide open.
That's the athleticism too of Kevin Lubin, to be able to roll to one side, plant, come back across, and still be able to be in position to make a quick toss to one of his receivers.
Yeah, for sure. All season he's been making plays with his legs. There again, he made it happen, and he made it look easy.
Now on the convert, Power Rangers going for one. Kevin Lubin gets the snap, looks to the right, delivers to Serge Pilon. This time, that under was almost undercut. by the TC defender Jesse Patterson. However, Serge Pilon slightly quicker, able to make the catch.
And that's not even speed. That's like pure catching ability.
Yeah.
The guy was all on him, and he made a beautiful catch.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of separation for Serge Pilon to make those catches.
Yes, indeed. But you should talk to his girlfriend, and that's another problem.
Yeah, his lack of hands in the bedroom. That's what I've heard. We have TC now getting ready on their second drive. Vanessa Beery now down 7-0. Catches a low snap, delivers over the middle of the field on her second read. The ball thrown and incomplete, and it'll now be 2nd and 10.
That was a triple slant on her left side. It was very beautifully covered by the Power Rangers defense, so she had to look to the backside slant, and it was a little bit overthrown, almost an interception.
Backside slant is difficult, Rashdi, as you would say. Is you see, essentially, you're making your first 2 reads. It's not there. You need to go back across, and your feet are not always set to make the throw to the backside slant, and that's what we saw there.
Exactly, and the rusher is on the throwing lane, so it makes it even more complicated.
You gotta throw over, under, different platforms to throw in. Vanessa Beery now on 2nd down. She has trips, delivers the ball deep. This time to Jacques Voigt. Jacques Voigt, he doesn't have the alligator arms. It is caught for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy route for Jacques, I would say. I've seen him do more than that. He uses his speed a lot, and that way he was about to get behind the defender, and he made the play for the touchdown.
I'm a little bit surprised where Serge Pilon was on top of it at the beginning, but Voigt just used his speed, and Serge was not there.
Yeah, looking in the replay there, it just seemed as though Serge started on him, concept kind of opened up, and maybe just having to see all those receivers in trips made it a little bit difficult. Lost Jacques Voigt for a second, that's all he needed.
Yes, indeed.
Vanessa Beery now and TC going for 1. Beery steps back, delivers to the back of the end zone. Contested pass, incomplete. Great play by Serge Pilon.
Serge has a very wide range, and he was able to come from the opposite side to make a beautiful play on this.
And it was a deep in route by Guillaume Fillon. Fillon's a guy, like we said, he's sort of like the steady guy for the TC offense. Great route, unable to pull it in. Kevin Lubin now with a 1-point lead. Power Rangers getting ready on 1st and 10. Ball is snapped. Kevin Lubin looks to his left, delivers the hook. It is sort of oddly underthrown to Wade Shallcross Jr. considering he was completely open. It will be now 2nd and 10.
I would say the rusher did a great job on it, where he came at him very fast, and he was kind of rushed to throw the ball as fast as possible.
It does seem sometimes, whether it's Kevin Lubin or just any quarterback, that's the impact that a rusher can have, is just the inability to set the ball properly in your hand, to step into your throws, and that's what we saw there on 1st down. Now on 2nd, again, the balance formation. We haven't seen anything but balance formation from Power Rangers to start the game. Kevin Lubin gets the ball, looks over the middle, this time on the run, rolling to his right. He's going to take off. He is deflagged on the sideline, looks to be just short of the 1st down.
I think Kevin saw that on the previous play. The rusher came at him very fast, so he decided to make him think twice about that type of rushing, I guess.
Marc Lachapelle deflagging him in the flats. Marc Lachapelle, a guy we've seen all season long, Stefano, being one of the patrollers of the flats on defense.
Yeah, for sure. He's the middle guy. You know, he sees the play ahead of him. He basically backs up the rusher's mistake, or well, not mistake, but like play, and he makes the tackles that they don't make.
I'm an older guy, so let's say I'm allowed to say it. He uses his veteran presence. Kevin Lubin looking to deliver a deep ball on 3rd down. It is contestable. It is contested, and it is knocked down just shy of the end zone, but now it will be 4th down for Power Rangers.
Yeah, that was a great play made by the defender. You know, I thought that Kevin Lubin should have put a bit more power on that pass. He would have had that completion. But for her to stick with the receiver and make that play was pretty incredible. Yeah,
Jenny Seguin unable to pull it in. Rashdi, with now about 11 minutes into the game, are you surprised Kevin Lubin did not just go for a safer 4th down attempt, or 3rd down attempt?
But it was a hook and go. The person was wide open. The ball was a bit underthrown.
Now, what will Lubin do on 4th down? He rolls to his right. He has an open receiver. He delivers a touch duck. It was kind of a duck, but it had beautiful touch, and it is caught for a 1st down by Jasmine Farmer.
Let's not call this a touch duck. Let's call it a goose.
All right.
A goose
touch goose.
There you go.
I mean, look, that's the thing when you play Kevin Lubin. You need to be aware that the ball can come out at any time on the run. Always keeps his eyes downfield. And not quite as veteran as some of the other guys we talked about in this game, but still the quote-unquote old man presence, the veteran presence of Kevin Lubin, as he now sets for 1st and 10, gets the ball, looks over the middle of the field. He delivers a ball that is kicked away as if preparing for the World Cup later this year in 2018. But unfortunately for Lubin, that discard will get it to 2nd and 10.
But you can notice that when he's throwing to the girls, he has a tendency of going more of a softer pass, where if you look at the passes that he was throwing to Serge Pilon, he was gunning it like crazy.
And I will say, I've played with Kevin Lubin. To be honest, he's one of the hardest throwers I've played with. But I mean, there's got to be something in between, because these girls can play, these girls can catch the ball. And I think as the game goes on, we may see that level of comfort improve. Kevin Lubin on the move immediately. This time evades the rusher, evades the defender, and is finally deflagged in the middle of the field before being lightly tossed to the ground. And it is a penalty for that light toss to the ground.
As you can see, Kevin Lubin making plays with his legs. He's been doing it all season. He makes it look easy. He makes the first defensive miss, and when that happens, he just finds open field. He jukes out a couple of other people, and he gets as much out as you can.
And Jesse Patterson with the deflag, but we'll see here as we see in the replay, he's going to his right, back to his left, and then just a little extra mustard as he gets taken to the ground at the end of that play. So penalty called. The referees, it's the first time we see them in this game, but Maxim Patterson maybe a little too aggressive on that play.
When we don't talk about the referees in the game, it's a very positive thing.
For sure. And now in the red zone, we see Kevin Lubin. He went to Serge Pilon earlier. Let's see what he does this time around. He runs the same play to the left this time. It is caught by Serge Pilon, and he salsas his way to the front of the end zone.
Serge has taken salsa lesson, and he is very efficient at it. He's got hips like a Shakira, and he did a very nice play on this.
They do not lie.
Yes, indeed.
What can you comment on the connection between Serge Pilon and Kevin Lubin, Steph?
That's a play they go to often, whether it be Tam or Serge that's involved in the play. It's usually an out route by the snapper, and they just find their way into the end zone when it's short yard.
My bad. It was actually the first touchdown went to Wade Shawcross. It was the convert that went to Serge Pilon. This time, again on the convert, thrown into traffic. Serge Pilon having to go up to get it and unable to do so between two TC defenders.
They found a way to stop Serge. Just put him on the ground. That's the best way to stop him from running.
Well, and we're seeing a bit of aggression coming from the TC defense. Is that something we can expect all game long, Stefano?
We could, because they know the value of the players at hand that they are against, and they know that they have to go all out to make the most out of their play.
We see now Mary-Lou Belin getting ready to rush Vanessa Beery. The snap is perfect. Looking deep once again, this time to Jacques Voigt, who's by himself. It is a touchdown, perhaps the easiest touchdown ever caught by Jacques Voigt. The closest man was Kevin Lubin, who had to come across the field and could not get there in time. Great throw by Vanessa Beery, knowing she had all the time in the world to get it to him.
It was a beautiful play calling where it was a corner lock defense, so only one person deep. Lubin was cheating to his left, and Voigt was wide open on the right side.
I mean, if you're going to cheat to his side, though, wouldn't you pay extra attention to Jacques Voigt in that case?
I agree that in this case, in this game, yes, but in that case, he had the slot back on the opposite side going straight at him. So I think that was a complicated coverage. It was a perfect play calling against that defense.
Sometimes the defender's more apt to take the guy running right at him than the play coming across the field. Now Vanessa Beery looking to bring it to a tie game. She is almost the flag, but then throwing into the curtain, unable to set her feet as she threw the crossing route to the back of the end zone by Jacques Voigt.
You can see that those two have a very nice chemistry. Where she was taken, she had to make a quick decision. She just threw the ball to Voigt, and he was actually open on this play.
The Power Rangers now readying their two drives since their first one, where they were unable to score, has gone very well. And the game has gone sort of score for score in that way, and that neither team scored the first time around. But since then, both offenses have been on fire. Let's see if TC makes any adjustments as Kevin Lubin receives the snap for the first down, delivers a short pass to Serge Pilon Jr. Those short passes on early downs don't seem to be working well for Kevin Lubin.
He seems to be underthrowing many of his receivers. I'm not sure why. He just has to put a bit more height to them throws, and he could make easy completions, but that's just me.
when Kevin Lubin's at his best, he actually has wonderful form where his arm comes over the top, but it almost looks like he's trying to place the ball too carefully in this game so far.
And you can see that the TC defense is playing very tight and close to the line of scrimmage. They're expecting those short passes.
Kevin Lubin now 2nd and 10, scanning the field, looking to his left and over the middle. He has Serge Pilon wide open. Serge Pilon jumps, mistimes it, still catches it, still scores a touchdown.
And this is why Serge is so special. Even though if he's making a bad play, it still can make a good play out of it. Bad timing on the jump, but just a great athlete.
When he makes a bad play, it's still a better play than most an FPF can make. So it's truly impressive. It's now 19-12, awaiting, of course, the convert on the touchdown. TC's defense having a discussion, discussing how to take this away. They kind of see what Kevin Lubin's wanted to do. However, I think this is a chance for him to go over the top to the back of the end zone. But we'll see that on this play as they're ready for the 1-point convert. Ball is snapped to Kevin Lubin. He looks to the drag in front of the end zone. I was completely wrong. The ball and hand ripped from Wade Shallcross. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, but perhaps something to think about for upcoming drives. They've attacked the front of the end zone, Stefano, on all 3 converts. Is it time to start to attack the deep ends across the back?
See, the thing is, when he tries to attack the deep routes in such tight space, he finds ways to overthrow some of his receivers, so maybe he's like uncertain of his own, like he's losing confidence in that kind of pass.
Well, all the reason to have the confidence, however, is the game is 19-12 in favor of the mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Vanessa Beery gets the snap on first down. She's rolling out. This time makes the connection to Maxim Patterson on the backside slant, the triple slants, but deflagged by Wade Shallcross Jr.
And now you can see that on this play, she actually went to her backside slant on the triple slant, and that person just stopped in the hole. That avoids the rusher to be like in between, and made it like an easier completion.
And that's a key for a lot of receivers, is knowing where to stop your route and understanding the throwing window. Great play by Maxim Patterson, veteran play by Maxim Patterson. Nice to see Vanessa Beery take advantage of that. And she's now on 2nd and about 5. She gets the ball, delivers short. Maxim Patterson, great catch once again. And is it a first? You have to see the sign from the official. It is not quite a first. It looks to be about 3 yards short.
You can notice that Emily Badu is out of the game now, and she got replaced by a guy, and you see like the impact right away. And she's been attacking that spot back-to-back plays, so I would expect this to continue for the rest of the half.
And especially the types of routes, Emily Badu being a very good deep ball receiver, where Maxim Patterson, a bigger frame, obviously. Vanessa Beery seems more comfortable throwing to him in tighter spaces. Beery readies on 3rd down. And short, the smash out caught by Maxim Patterson once again, deflagged by Wade Shallcross Jr. And man, that matchup's not going well for Power Rangers.
Well, it's mostly short yardage, so I wouldn't consider it a total loss. But yeah, it seems to be working, and I think that they're going to they're going to target that throughout most of the game.
I think it's a positive thing that TC is attacking short. Like they've been beating Power Ranger deep on a couple previous plays. So I think Power Rangers just changed their strategy. We'll see if they're going to continue like this.
Also some clock management, only 2 minutes left in the half. Maybe worthwhile to take the ball out of Kevin Lubin's hands, as he has been hot throughout most of the game and through most of his adult life.
Good point.
Now on 1st and 10, Vanessa Beery sets up trips to her left. And everyone moves too early. It is a false start. But now, on 1st and 15, do we see Vanessa Beery staying disciplined, or do we see her take a shot deep?
My guess is if they go again on that trips, they're going to try to attack deep on that trip side. And whenever it's a trips, she loves to attack that side where somebody gets wide open mid-range, about like a 15-yard out from the slot back, I would guess.
Yeah, what I've seen a lot from her is, again, being able to attack sort of different levels on the strong side, but then send a post over the weak side. And then if the defenders cheat, she has that deep pass that she loves throwing. If not, she has that intermediate pass that she has both the arm strength and touch to make. Vanessa Beery jumps to receive the snap, looks to her left. That post pattern was late in developing, and as such, results in a huge sack.
And combined to the previous penalty before, it's going to be very difficult for them to finish the half on a good note.
Mary Lou Bellin, a rusher we should start paying attention to in the FPF ranks, Stefano?
Yeah, she has the quickness to get to the quarterback, and as noted before, she happens to get there before Vanessa Beery can find her receivers. So That worked out perfectly, and now this. I feel like Vanessa Beery is going to try and regain some of that yardage before going for it on third, but I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to get to full yardage.
This is third. Well, actually, sorry, you're right. This is second and about 20 would be my guess. She receives the snap. She looks to her left, throws a pass to a moonwalking Jacques Void. Some of the yards gained back, to your point, Stefano.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because usually Vanessa, she thinks of it as a general. She doesn't want the big play right away. She tries to do what's best for her team at that particular moment, and as to that play, that seemed to be the best way to go.
The 3 slow-blown whistles by the referee indicate it is now 5 plays remaining in the half. 19-12, third and long for Vanessa Beery's TC. She catches the perfect snap this time. Looks to her left, back to her right. It is caught in traffic by Maxim Patterson. Wade Shawcross Jr. making a tackle, but seemingly, once again, half a step too slow.
Yes, but what I'm impressed more about this play is the rusher. She did a great job where Vanessa did not have like her first or second read, so she decided that she's going to roll out, but the rusher was right in her face, so she kind of threw a prayer, and it was a beautiful catch by the receiver.
And we see now Belin is having such an impact on this game, not only in the sack, not only in rushing throws, but even when they tried to go, when TC tried to go to a 2-snap count, being a false start, which means the reason you'd go to that 2-snap count is if the rusher is getting to you and bothering you. So something to monitor the rest of the game as TC readies itself in trips to the left once again. Vanessa Beery receives a good snap, looks over the top, delivers a deep ball, too deep. Jacques Void unable to get there. And a mistake not to punt in that case, Rashti?
I would say they do feel more comfortable about their offense and their defense right now. So I think she took a gamble. She only needed about like 8 or 9 yards, but decided to go deep. She had a good matchup. She had Jacques Void on a girl, so she took her chance. But Jasmine did a very nice defensive play, and the ball was overthrown.
And now with that, though, thinking about the situation, having less than a handful of plays, they could have put the ball on the 1-yard line. Instead, they see...
It would have been on the 10-yard line, no?
No, they're inside 50 yards. They're inside
Sorry
half field.
about that.
So Kevin Lubin looks to his left. He delivers a deep corner to Wade Shawcross Jr., but Wade Shawcross Jr. is not the wall. The ball deflects harmlessly after hitting the wall, the back of the Brossard Bell complex wall.
As I said before, Kevin Lubin, when he tries to target the back of the end zone, he tends to throw it a bit too hard. In that case, he tried to make a hole through the wall, and it didn't work out. So that's why I don't think he's going to go for that deep when he's closer.
It's one of the reasons we like Bell Complex. The walls are very firm.
Very, very durable.
Durability being important when looking for a complex. Kevin Lubin now on second down with the half almost completed. He feels he needs to make the score. TC getting the ball back at the start of the half. Kevin Lubin looking deep once again. This time to Belin, who's been famed throughout the first half for her rushing efforts, but now being targeted on a deep pass. And I believe this to be now the last play.
But it was a very nice read by Kevin Lubin, where Serge Pilon did a hook down the middle, and he attracted both the safety and the short person. So there was an opening, but unfortunately the ball was thrown a little bit too deep.
Horizontally challenged person. We don't call him short anymore. Rusty.
I apologize for this.
But in this case, perhaps being used to receivers who have that next level acceleration rather than someone like Belin who's just all out fast all the time. What you see from her speed is what you get at the beginning of the route, at the top of the route, and at the end of the route. Kevin Lubin looks to receive the ball on the last play of the half, delivering a deep ball with everyone going deep. It is deflected. It hits the ground. It is not complete. It is the end of the first half, 19-12. Rusty, are you surprised that Kevin Lubin did not try and cut the field in half and take 2 shots from closer to the red zone?
I think Kevin Lubin likes to go for the touchdown right away, because if the field is shorter, it makes it a bit more complicated accuracy-wise. So he went for the gamble, and he almost put it off.
And to your point, he didn't make a great throw on the second to last play.
No, well, he has the arm strength, that's for sure. I'm not taking anything away from him. But sometimes his deep accuracy is lacking, but I'm not saying that's a very easy pass to complete, because I wouldn't be able to do so.
Most of us cannot, except for Rusty in the booth.
Except for Rusty, yeah.
Rusty would have thrown a touchdown, we know that.
Division I quarterback, Rusty.
I just throw the ball as deep as I can, and then one of the Pilon is going to end up catching it, so that's my strategy.
That would have been your play call going in. You have one of the Pilon, throw it as deep as you can.
There you go.
But just looking at some of the first half stats, Kevin Lubin 8 for 17, 2 touchdowns. Safe with the ball, however, no interceptions. Vanessa Beery, kind of similar, 8 for 13, 2 touchdowns. The sack being perhaps the difference and the reason we have a Power Rangers lead.
Yes, indeed, that sack was a very huge play for this game. It impacted the offensive drive for TC immensely. And she has the speed to get there, and I'm pretty sure she's going to continue trying her best to get there.
Stefano, you talked about before the game TC's ability to use their female players, and that would be their strength coming to the game. But we see it's been 7 catches and a little over 100 yards for Jacques Void and Maxime Patterson combined. Do you think that this is a trend that's going to continue, or do you think we'll see her go back to what worked for her throughout the season?
I believe that was just to draw the opposing defense to cover both Maxime and Jacques, leaving her female receivers open. The snapper usually has a bigger impact on the game. I'm surprised she hasn't.
But I would say that I think the Power Rangers decided to stop that center because Tam Villadette has been over her all game, and he's been doing very good on defense. But Power Ranger is a very good second half team. They do a lot of adjustment at halftime, and I would expect them to make their defense a little bit tighter.
Rashti, you've seen this stat line before. Serge Pilon, 4 catches, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's very familiar to you, of course. In Wade Shawcross, we talked about that as well. But look, TC knew that's who they had to stop coming to this game. They knew the ball, when it was important, was going to go to Serge Pilon, and they haven't been able to do that just yet.
Yes, and the same thing with DK, same thing with any team that Serge Pilon plays. He is that efficient where you want to feed him the ball. But I have a feeling that Kevin Lubin is going to start using Serge eventually as a bait, where TC will try to stop Serge and other people will be completely wide open.
And we saw during the season, and to your point, I said, yeah, Serge Pilon had a great season. I looked up the stats. Yes, of course, 300 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns, but only 15 catches. So the efficiency there is absolutely impressive because literally 2 out of every 3 times he caught the ball was a touchdown, and the yardage means he's not just picking up scraps in the red zone. So definitely truly impressive. As we get ready to start the first half, what do you think we'll see from TC out of the gate, Stefano?
Well, as I mentioned before, I believe that they are going to make their female players more involved in this game. You're going to see Serge and Tam might have to cover Jacques and Maxime, and we're going to see what happens.
My producer informed me that it is the second half. I need to stop drinking before broadcast. The ball thrown quickly to the left on a slant by Vanessa Beery. It is contested. It is not caught. Audrey Sauvé-Desjardins unable to pull it in.
It was a beautiful defensive play where as soon as she saw her breaking down, she shot the spot instead of playing the receiver and did a very nice play on this.
And to your point, Stefano, we talked about how their snapper were unable to get involved in the game. Now we see Maxime Patterson take over at the snap. And also, being a snapper, of course, I'm one of the few that will actually pay attention to this. The ball location on the snaps early in the game weren't great. Vanessa Beery having to take her eyes off reads. And the ball delivered quickly out to her right side. Maxime Patterson, a name we've said early and often today.
And you can see that TC took a page out of the Power Ranger play where they're hitting the snapper on quick outs. And I think both teams will gain a lot of yardage just with those quick little passes.
What do you think of that strategy of changing the snapper at this point in the game?
Well, as you said, the snapper in the first half wasn't able to make much happen. So I guess they felt like because they're trailing in the game, they would need to adjust and do what's best for their team.
That's the thing, was we saw it have an impact on that sack where Vanessa Beery had to jump up, catch the ball, come down, unable to make her reads. Now, however, she gets the ball delivered, throws a deep ball. No one there, perhaps a play that didn't develop as she wanted to, perhaps just discarding a ball where she didn't have an open receiver.
I think everybody was covered on that play, so it was basically just a throwaway. Jacques Void was covered on the out, so she was possibly hoping that he might turning into an up, but Jacques did not see the same thing, and it was just a throwaway.
And a punt to start the half for TC. The early second half adjustments like you talked about, Rashti, by Power Rangers.
It's huge, and now all of a sudden they have the ball and the score lead. If they can score on this drive, it's going to put a whole lot of pressure on TC.
Kevin Lubin, perhaps being one of the best quarterbacks in FPF when he has a lead. This is his strength. This is what he does well, and he gets the ball on first and 10. The ball thrown, again, some oddity with Serge Pilon and Wade Shawcross Jr. on top of each other, but Wade Shawcross Jr. able to catch the ball as it sailed over the head of Serge Pilon for potentially a first down.
I would say he was flirting with danger because Marc Lachapelle came from all the way from the other side of the field and had like a decent chance for the pick. Half a second more and it would have been a possible pick six.
But there, see, that's the confusing part, because the reason Kevin Lubin had to hold the ball longer was Serge Pilon appeared to be in the wrong window. Second time we've seen that this game. However, Lubin looks over to the right. He had a wide open Wade Shawcross Jr., however, trying to force the ball to his right side in Marie-Lou Bellin. That was covered, and it's incomplete. It is now 2nd and 10.
He basically did the same play as the previous play, where he has Serge Pilon on an out and a slap back on a hook, and he was hoping for that person in the short position to shoot Serge, and that person was open, but just a little bit late.
Kevin Lubin now gets ready for 2nd and 10. Both quarterbacks living to fight another down, not making any mistakes. The ball thrown to Bellin. This time she loses her footing, and she was wide open. Very good route by Marie-Lou Bellin.
Yeah, that was a great route. Unfortunately, she lost her footing and made that play go to garbage, unfortunately.
And once again, it's still the same play where you have Serge coming underneath with a quick out and the slap back on a hook. That hook will be wide open all the time because the person in the short zone is going to shoot Serge all the time.
What can TC do to avoid that concept, continue to eat them up?
Probably just to shoot people in different zones and looking at Kevin's eyes.
Kevin now, with his eyes directing over the middle of the field, looks back to his right. It is underthrown as it was making its way to the right sideline to Serge Pilon Jr. However, there is a flag on the play.
I believe that was an offensive pass defensive pass interference. My apologies.
I also thought it was offensive, so it's not just you.
Which is why she was able to undercut the route initially. So I guess that's just what happened.
Yeah, we're looking at the replay now. Kevin Lubin looking to his right as I described. However, I don't know. Looking at it once again, just a great play on defense by Lauriane Beauchamp.
But I think the penalty happened before the cut and not at the end.
So maybe that's an unnecessary contact, not DPI?
I think you're right.
Perhaps the referees can look at us when they're making their calls. Be beneficial. Kevin Lubin gets a snap. That same play that you keep describing, the underneath from Serge Pilon, the crossing hook over the top, and they connect this time once again to Wade Shawcross Jr.
And Serge attracts so much attention, you have to pick your poison. It's either that hook or that quick out. The only problem that I can see is, like, because he's lofting the ball to that hook, eventually the backside person could make a play, so he's got to be careful with that play.
Do you think Kevin's seeing sort of where the backside defenders are, and that's why he's throwing it, or do you think he'll get himself in trouble as he gets too confident with that throw?
I really hope so that he's seeing
All right.
I have no idea.
Because I've seen it crash a couple of times. So we, of course, have a better look from up here. But Kevin Lubin runs to his right, to his left side, throws an incomplete pass once again in an area where Serge Pilon and Wade Shawcross Jr. too close for comfort.
I feel like he's targeting them two the most often, and then out of nowhere he's going to target one of the female receivers for like the openness in the end zone.
We saw that though. We saw that with Marie-Lou Bellin, just unable to haul it in as she lost her footing, but she won't lose her footing every time around.
Oh, that is correct. That's why I'm expecting them to go short for a female receiver now.
It is now 4th and 1. Kevin Lubin looks over the middle once again in his normal package, goes to his left, back to his right, the thing he does best. Was he able to run for the first down? Referees look to mark it down.
Yes, I think.
Looks as though yards are gained. Very short yardage there. However, I did see sort of some contact. The snapper still moving as Kevin Lubin was running. Surprised not to see a blocking foul in that play.
I guess they felt like it had no impact on the outcome of the play, so they just kept the flag.
Like, you can't catch Kevin Lubin, so.
That's true. His speed is like his best asset in my opinion, with his arm strength as well, so he just uses it as much as he can.
What's his worst asset? Kevin Lubin looking to his right, delivers once again to Serge Pilon. Once again, the salsa gets him in.
And once again, it's the same play. That quick out from Serge, the hook from the slapback, and the defender decided to cover the slapback where Serge was completely wide open on the outside.
Yeah, it's been working for them. I've been saying at some point they're going to take away the front of the end zone. TC not looking as though they've made any adaptation throughout the second half.
As I mentioned, that's usually their go-to play within the 10 yards. You know, it's a quick out to the snapper, whether it be Serge or when Serge wasn't there during the season, it was Tam. It just always worked for them, so that's their go-to play in my opinion.
Kevin Lubin sets his team up for the one-point convert, now 25-12. He gets the ball. Once again, sees a quick out from his snapper. This time delivers that late developing hook. It is incomplete at the first cone in front of the end zone. So it stays 25-12. Good idea by Kevin Lubin, staring down the concept that he's had all game long, then going to the hook to the outside.
And it was a beautiful read. The receiver was wide open. Unfortunately, the ball was just thrown a little bit too low, but a very nice read and a very, very nice play.
Absolutely. And now 25-12. We talked about, you mentioned Stefano, Tam Villadath. We haven't called his name a bunch, but Rajdi, as you know, we've seen him heavily involved in this game, taking away the snapper, and we see them come back to their original formation on offense. Ball snap, quickly delivered over the middle of the field. Guillaume Fillon with a catch for about 7 yards.
Now they're back to their starting offense, and I kind of question that decision because right now they're down 2. They need to go and score quickly. So I would probably expect Émilie Badou being open down the field with a post or Jacques Voigt on a post corner.
It seems bizarre to be tinkering with the offensive lineup in the finals after a very competitive first half, but they're back to what they started with and what their bread and butter has been. They deliver a quick hook to the outside. Guillaume Fillon once again, sure-handed, looks to have the first down.
Very nice play, very nice timing, great catch, first down.
How have you seen TC handle pressure like this where they're down in the game, Stefano?
Well, to be honest, they haven't been down much this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from this trailing by 2 scores against a very talented defensive Power Rangers team.
Do you think that'll hamper their ability to come back in this game, that they haven't faced the adversity?
It might affect them, but in the end, she could prove me wrong. She's proven me wrong in the past. Let's see.
Vanessa Berry catches the snap, looks to her left, delivers a lofting pass. It is a beautiful catch from one shoulder to the other, brought in by Audrey Sauvé-Desjardins.
A great adjustment on the ball and tippy-toe down the sideline. A beautiful catch.
There's still time to catch up, so if they get a quick score now and they make a defensive stop, they should be in a good position.
12-24, 23-22, still 25-12, but TC knocking on the door. It is now first down, looks to be in the red zone, and Vanessa Berry and her high-powered offense with a chance to make this a one-score game. They'll still need to force a turnover, of course, if they want to have a chance to win this, but it all starts here, doesn't it, Rushdie?
I would expect Vanessa to attack the left side of the field, where she's going to either go to Hugo or Émilie Badou on the out back in.
Ball caught, looking to her left, late developing route. It is caught and quickly deflected by Serge Pilon Jr. Great catch by Émilie Carrier, unable to get into the end zone, but well caught in traffic.
And a great rush by Marilou. She put a lot of pressure on Vanessa, and she had to throw the ball on her back foot. Kind of a lucky throw, but very efficient still.
And that's the thing, Vanessa Berry able to deliver the ball from different platforms. Still, you never want to be throwing from your back foot, and that's all to the credit of Marilou Belin, who's looking to rush. Oh, for a moment it looked like she was rushing from her left side, but sees the trips to Vanessa Berry's right, so she changes side. And once again, everyone moves. Perhaps no one heard the expression, look at the ball.
Yeah, I feel like they just got lost in the snap. The rusher, Marilou, she kind of got them going, thinking that the snap was made because she's been there most of the time. So I guess that affected them and just got to their head.
When you see Vanessa Berry and Jacques Voigt and the experienced FPF players and players with championship pedigree, are you surprised to see sort of these kind of jitters, Rashti?
I would say it's been a long time since they've been trailing in a game, so it might have an effect on this situation. But having more space is actually a positive thing for Vanessa, so she can actually stretch the field a little bit more.
Vanessa Berry receives the snap, looking to the back of the end zone. Jacques Voigt open for a second, ball thrown behind. Tam Villadath unable to make the play. It is a touchdown, Jacques Voigt. It is now 25-18 in favor of Power Rangers.
It was an interesting play by the Power Ranger where all of a sudden they had Serge Pilon rushing Vanessa, so she had to rush her pass, and Tam almost made a pick. So they took a gamble. Vanessa actually played very well against it, and Jacques Voigt made a beautiful catch.
Just a great idea on the part of Vanessa Berry, knowing how the route would develop, throwing to a window, letting Jacques Voigt get there. He actually got there a second before the ball did, but great adjustment by Jacques Voigt in the air.
Yeah, Jacques Voigt is an incredible athlete. He manages to adjust to many throws his way, and he just makes the play happen. I'm surprised he came down with that. I thought Tam got a hand on it, but apparently not enough.
He's a very good athlete, questionable mathlete, but Now TC set for their 2-point conversion, having done the math, deciding to go for it.
I'm questioning this decision right now.
Hence the mathlete question that I had early on. But she delivers a deep ball to no one. I thought for a second maybe it was just related to having more space like we alluded to, Rashti, but going for 2 in this case, not necessarily pertinent.
Especially because they've been struggling recently in the last drive. So for them to take that gamble, I don't think it makes that much of a difference, and it might bite them back at the end of the game.
9 minutes left in the second half, the witching hour, so to speak, in the second half of FPF games. You see that under 10 minutes. It's just enough time for Kevin Lubin to close the game out, just enough time to make the mistake, to lose them the game, and just enough time for TC to get back into the game. So we'll see how that develops in this drive. 1st and 10, the ball delivered to Kevin Lubin. He looks deep across the field and unable to complete the pass to Belin, streaking on the field wide open.
Yeah, like I've mentioned before, he does have that throwing power, but sometimes I question his accuracy. But like, it's a very tough play to make. Mary Lou is very fast, so he probably underestimated her speed.
So his Madden throwing power rating would be what?
I would say his throw power would be like 90, but like his deep accuracy 77.
That was my next question. You got there. The ball delivered. This time Belin makes the catch in traffic. We saw a Lauriane Beauchamp jumping the route, just getting there a tad too slow. Great catch by Belin.
It was a great attempt by the defense, but even a greater concentration making that catch and that extra running at the end. Very beautiful play.
And the ability to stay concentrated in that kind of case. And it seems as though Belin was surprised to catch the ball, because had she turned upfield immediately, that would have been a touchdown. Nobody on this field is catching her except for Serge Pilon, but they play on the same team. Serge Pilon sets his feet to snap the ball. Sort of a stack formation to the left of Kevin Lubin. The ball is delivered. The underneath to Serge Pilon does not develop. The slant over the middle does not develop either, and the ball is incomplete.
It was a great play by Emilie Kidou on defense. She shot right away at Serge, and she covered Kevin's first read, and then he had to go for a second option, and it kind of took a little bit too much time to develop.
Highly intelligent, lots of processing in a very short period of time. Very impressive play on defense. Kevin Lubin now on 2nd and 10. Gets the ball, looks to his left. A great ball on the comeback. It is caught. The receiver deflagged on the sideline as the ball was completed to Jenny Seguin.
This was a great play by Kevin Lubin, where he's been hitting that middle hook all game, and all of a sudden he looked at it, everybody shot it, and then he threw it to a wide open wide receiver. Great play, great read.
As I mentioned, his targeting Wade and Serge, they probably expected that to happen, and there was a receiver left open.
Yeah, and there's just a perfect ball placement, great catch, and ability to turn upfield for a couple extra yards at the end of the play. Kevin Lubin now receives the snap, looks to his right, delivers a rocket pass that is caught by Belin. Belin probably went back to the huddle a bunch of times, like, throw me the goddamn ball. Stop trying to place it to me, just put it in my hands, and we see it there. Touchdown by Belin, and a great play.
I would personally say that she did not say that. She's probably one of the nicest person, where when people are down on Kevin, she's always the one smiling and laughing and trying to make the spirit a little bit lighter, and she just got a gift back, I guess.
Fine, then it was Shawcross who did it. Just throw it to her. He looks to his left, delivers once again on that comeback. They gotta make an adjustment, because that's been open all drive. We saw there great route running by Jenny Seguin, and if they don't make an adjustment soon, that's going to be open for the rest of the game. But now TC still down 2 scores, and it's 5 minutes and a half left in the game.
Now TC is going to have to think about speeding up the game, because their huddle is way too long for no reason, and they're going to start to go even more deep and more often. And now Power Rangers have the lead. They have the control of the game. Let's see how they're going to do it.
And a long huddle is symptomatic of not being under the stress of having losing games very often. Vanessa Berry delivers to the outside, unable to catch the ball. Perhaps hearing the footsteps was Audrey Sauvé-Desjardins.
Yeah, that was a bit overthrown by Vanessa Berry. Maybe Audrey undercut it a little too soon. But yeah, I was surprised that they didn't go deep on that, considering time is against them right now, when they failed to make the stop on the series prior. So we'll see what happens.
And again, the thing with the touch passer like Vanessa Berry, she's throwing it before the receiver becomes out of the break. So kind of guessing as to the final location of the receiver. Ball delivered to Vanessa Berry. She looks to her right, to her left. It is juggled impressively by Jacques Voigt, the Magic Man, and it is caught for a 7-yard gain.
It was a circus catch, and the extra yardage at the end just make the whole thing more spectacular.
Absolutely, and it's just that's the kind of thing that a guy like Jacques Voigt can add to the team. Sorry, it was a 3-yard gain. I thought he would have been spotted up a little bit further down the line, but TC now 3rd and 7. We'll see how Vanessa Beery handles the situation. Ball snapped a little to her left. She looks deep. It was a post corner Jacques Voigt, but instead, deep ball thrown to Badu and defended by Kevin Lubin.
I think she made her decision before the snap was even thrown because Jacques Voigt was wide open on that post corner. She looked at him, but decided to go on the backside post, and the coverage was there. So now it's going to be a 4th and 7. It's going to be very complicated for her right now.
You and I both saw that opening up at the exact same time. We got very excited. We thought that was going to be a touchdown for sure. Unfortunately, Vanessa Beery perhaps feeling a little bit of the pressure, being down 31-18 with 3.5 minutes left in the game, as you can see on the top of your scoreboard. For those watching, hopefully on Facebook Live, hopefully the stream is working better than years past. Eagle at Master Control has informed me 25 viewers watching live right at the beginning of our broadcast in our first game. So happy to see that for the Roadshow 2018. But TC was hoping to be watched in more of a winning context and losing context as they take a timeout and they stop the clock at 3:19.
Yes, for sure. They're usually the ones that come up on top, but it seems like Power Rangers have learned from that Week 1 matchup, and they just adjusted, and they're making all the right plays.
And like I was telling you a little bit earlier, Power Rangers are very efficient at second half adjustment. And Tam Villadette, being in charge of that defense, made the proper switch and made the proper adjustment. And now let's see what they're going to do on that 4th down. I would expect Vanessa to go for Jacques Voigt once again.
That aggressive Power Rangers defense has been present all game long. They've been taking away reads. They've been making Vanessa Beery just a little less comfortable than she has been in games past. And now Beery readies herself. She jumps to receive the snap. Once again, not entirely on target. This time delivering the ball to Sauvé Desjardins, but overthrowing it into the curtain. It is a turnover on downs. And a chance for Kevin Lubin, the Power Ranger himself, ready to close the game out.
I feel like the high snap had her force that throw a little bit, but she usually could make that, but I guess it got to her too much, and Marie-Lou got there quick, so she just had to toss it up there and hope for the best.
And it was the right read. That person was wide open, and it's just unfortunate that the pass was not completed.
And that's the thing, when you get a high snap and you have a fast rusher coming in on you, you can't always set your feet the way you'd like to, but we've seen Vanessa Beery be able to do it in the past. This game, however, just not quite able to adapt to her circumstances. Now Kevin Lubin with a chance to come in with the dagger. Lubin receives the ball, looks same play development that we've seen before with the hook over the drag, but he is caught, he is spun, he is dragged down, he is held. It's a penalty against Samuel Provost, who's done otherwise a great job rushing.
Yeah, he was able to contain Kevin all game. He was able to put him like a lot of pressure. I think Kevin had people open, but I think he decided to not take any chance. And when he started holding, he just decided to keep the ball. 1st down, and they're moving up.
Yeah, we saw the salsa early from Serge Pilon. This time, perhaps the tango with Kevin Lubin and his opposite number in the Russian Marc Provost. The ball snapped to Kevin Lubin, looks to his left, delivers to Serge Pilon with the safety hook behind in Wade Shawcross Jr. But safe, smart, intelligent throw. Just watching that clock go down, that must be a nice feeling for a veteran quarterback who was yet to win an FPF championship in Kevin Lubin.
Power Rangers are in control right now. Time is winding down. They're closer to their red zone. If they don't make any mistake, it's an easy championship for them. Yeah,
Kevin Lubin has always been an FPF bridesmaid, never an FPF bride. This is his first chance, of course. What do you think has got him to eventually this point this season?
Well, he's been spectacular all season. He's made plays with his legs. This game, not as much, but throughout the season, he's been making plays.
Serge Pilon delivers the snap. It is that roaming play back to the left. Wade Shawcross Jr. seems spooked, as if you saw a ghost, but that wasn't a ghost. That was the shadow of the ball. That F2000 coming in quick, unable to haul it in at the front cone of the end zone.
It was not a on purpose drop, but it's not a bad drop.
No, it kind of works out.
They're wasting time, so it's kind of positive for them anyway. But everything is positive for Power Rangers right now.
Let's just say that it was, and it's better sportsmanship. Let's pretend for a moment. But Look, with Kevin Lubin running at you, it's already somewhat intimidating. He's a big dude. Then the way he throws the ball sometimes can be intimidating. So kind of feel for Wade Shawcross. Unfortunately, it's been immortalized on FPF video. You can catch these games on Facebook Live, of course, or on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Kevin Lubin delivers that toss pass again, and a flag comes flying in as we saw some contact on the goal line. But otherwise, great catch by Jenny Seguin, who's had just an absolute great second half.
I believe that it was called offensive pass interference on that play.
It was.
Yeah. I think the slot back on the left side just did a pick on the corner, so that made the wide receiver wide open on that short route.
Yeah, and I think we'll see the replay shortly. We'll be able to take a look at that. As we see President Rob Campana, Lieutenant GM Colette Joas going downstairs with the FPF trophy. Guys, as we see the replay here, I mean, that's not by definition a pick, but that was the referee's decision. As now the Power Rangers have a bit more yards to work with, but only 5 plays left to kill, as the refs have blown in the final 5 plays of the game.
And what I find fantastic for the game today is we did not speak about the ref that much, which means that they did their job and they did not impact the game, so it's a very positive way.
Agreed 100%. I couldn't agree with you more, Rusty. Stefano, offhand, if you had to decide who would be the player of the game for Power Rangers, the finals MVP, who would you choose?
I hate to go with the obvious choice, but without Serge Pilon's offensive numbers, they wouldn't be in this position. But I could argue that Kevin Lubin made it happen, so maybe he's going to take that home.
Ross, do you think of K-Lube? You think of Shawcross? You think of Pilon? Jenny Seguin? Who do you got?
It's a very difficult decision where I'm going to try to go like opposite and talk about Marilou, where she...
I was going to say Marilou, absolutely.
And she did a great job on offense, and on defense, she rushed Vanessa very well. Vanessa did not have time, and she had to rush most of her throws.
And now being rushed himself was Kevin Lubin. The ball intercepted. Might be a little too late. But TC will have the ball with 4 plays left. They need to score immediately. Onside kick. That doesn't exist. So they need Kevin Lubin to not end the game and decide to run a play anyway. And that's not going to happen. The Power Rangers will, in all likelihood, go on to win this championship. As a way to start our April Madness, our FPF 2018 Winter Championship Roadshow. It's been an absolutely impressive game on both sides of the field, guys. You guys have covered co-ed a lot more than I have, a lot more closely. So it's been an absolute pleasure for me to spend the time with you today. But let's see how Vanessa Beery handles this situation. Do you think she's taking a deep shot just to say, let's make this respectable?
She's going to try to take a deep shot on the right side to the wide receiver, most likely.
She does not. She throws a quick hook just because she wants to prove we don't know what we're talking about. That ball caught, of course, by Émilie Carrier. A little underused in this game, but great catch and great move in space.
But we have to remember that the Power Rangers defense is also expecting a deep pass, so
True.
It's kind of complicated. And probably she made a read and she saw the coverage was too deep for her.
And her deep threat is also not on the field, so she's just hoping that they get down and just end their season on a relatively high note. Not the way they wanted, but away. Anyway.
And we see Badu still in the field, but the jump ball specialist Jacques Void not there, so perhaps just a way to get some of your teammates some playing time. Beery receives the snap, looks to her left, back to her right. The quick hook thrown once again to Badu, with just a couple plays left. Looks like TC's season is all but done.
You see, like on this play again, Vanessa did not have like her first or second read. She wanted to run away, and then the rush was very nice, so she had to get rid of the ball as fast as possible.
I mean, I would agree with you, by the way, that Marilou Belland was, to me, the player of the game. But Rob Campana, President Campana, not as detail-oriented as yourself and I, Rusty. So I don't think she'll be getting an extra trophy today. But I think she'll be happy with the championship trophy that she will receive as Beery moves to her right, delivers a deep ball to wide open Badu. Right at the cone, literally at the cone, hits the cone, incomplete.
But Badu caught the cone. She had the cone in her hands, so there was a beautiful cone catch, but unfortunately not the ball.
No points for the cone. Now, however, if you got 13 points for catching the cone, it will be a tie game. Instead, it remains 31-18 with the last play left to play.
Yeah, well, this was the final I wanted to see, and I'm glad I was here to witness it. And let's just see what the last play of the co-ed season will be.
Finally getting to use those media credentials, Stefano. Didn't have to pay this year, so happy to see that. Vanessa Beery ready for one last play, and She's been a sportsman this one. It has not looked to be any less the leader all game long as she delivers the ball back to Amélie Carrier. Carrier deflagged, and the game is over. Congratulations to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, your Winter 18 champions. The teams will collect and we'll hear from the field as we'll get the championship presentation of the Commissioner's Trophy as well as the Commissioner's FPF MVP for the co-ed division. We'll be going to that shortly, but before we do that, guys, any final thoughts on the game?
Well, I am very happy that this was the game that I got to call, and I expected it from week one. That week one matchup was insane, and they just fulfilled it. I mean, the Power Rangers had a bit of the edge this game prior to the game in week one, but TC put up a fight, and they didn't give up until the end, even though the game was over.
It was a well-fought game. The two top teams played against each other. I think the best one actually won the game, and they stayed true to their game plan. Like Power Rangers attacked short, just marching the field. TC attacked deep and connected deep. Unfortunately, the adjustment at halftime, I think, made a big difference.
The trophy being presented to the Power Rangers, but a touching moment as two children from TC came off the bench to join their parents on the field. Future TC members, hopefully, future FPF members for sure, but the trophy being presented to the Power Rangers, who of course are our focus. Great game by Kevin Lubin, as we described. Despite the one mistake at the end, it did not hurt them. Great game by Mère-Lou Belland. Great game by Serge Pilon. The championship trophy has been given out. The championship T-shirts have been given out, or as I say, the pajamas for FPF media members. Those are being handed out at the moment, but we will shortly see who was given the FPF Co-ed Winter 18 MVP.
I think it's Serge Pilon, and he has the plate in his
I
hands.
can't see it from my angle.
Yeah, I believe it's Serge
Serge Pilon has the plate in his hand, and he's the MVP.
Simon Dagenet has confirmed he's in a higher pay grade than I am, so he's confirmed that Serge Pilon is in fact the MVP. Like we said, Rashdi, Rob Campana, not as detail oriented as us, didn't notice the importance of the rush by Mère-Lou Belland and her importance on offense and scoring that late touchdown. But I mean, if you want to give it to the obvious guy, let's give it to Serge Pilon.
Agree, and he is that spectacular. But it was a great team win, and everybody contributed in their own way, and it was a very efficient win.
But perhaps, Stefano, is that what we saw today? The reason we're having this debate about the MVP is just how well everyone played and how everyone contributed in an important facet.
No, 1,000%. Power Rangers is a great team, and they are able to play together and win together, and that's the important part of the spirit of teamwork was real with the Power Rangers, and I'm happy to see that they came up with the victory.
Yeah, for sure. And 31-18, the game closer than that for large parts of it, let's say 3/4 of the game, until TC not able to close out on a crucial drive on a fourth down hook on the sideline that we described. Once again, the impressive rush by Mère-Lou Belland, and then the ball that was not quite caught, not being able to be pulled in by Audrey Sauvé-Desjardins, who made so many great plays in this game and throughout the season, unable to haul the ball in, and that's the pressure of the FPF finals. It does change in terms of how the game feels, and we saw that today.
Both teams are winners, and they left with their chin up, even though they didn't come out on the victorious side, TC, so it's a very good aspect.
Yeah, and the teams now taking their final pictures with the trophy as we await an opportunity to speak to the MVP, who is now sprinting his way. He never stops sprinting. Serge Pilon meeting with the commissioner, Rob Campana, and GM Calathris.
We have to notice that from the two twins, he is the nice one. So Alex is the angry one, and Serge is the nice.
Félicitations Serge Pilon. Je sais que c'est pas ta première championnat, mais c'était quoi comme selon toi le moment du match que tu as pensé on va le gagner?
C'est quand que je pense Malou a fait un sac. Là, on a dit commence, après on a fait un touchdown. On était up par un touchdown. Puis après on savait qu'on allait gagner parce on est une équipe, ils nous sont battus en premier, la première game, mais on n'était pas encore full squad, eux non plus. Mais là, on a presque gagné tout. Ce qui nous a aidé aussi, on a utilisé beaucoup nos filles. Puis en défense, on les a arrêtés. Fallait arrêter Vanessa, puis on a arrêté.
Vous avez la chimie. Avec le championnat maintenant, est-ce que vous retournez pour une deuxième saison Power Rangers?
Pour vrai, je pourrais pas dire. Il faudrait parler avec les autres, mais ça se peut faire bien.
Okay.
Ça se peut.
Félicitations, je te remercie pour ça.
Merci.
Thank you, GM, and thank you, Serge Pilon, for taking a moment to discuss the game with us. For Roshdi Ben Abdelkader, for Stefano Berardi, I am Pease Delariz. This was the Co-Ed Championship. Final score, 31 Power Rangers, 18 TC. Power Rangers, you are the 2018 Winter Co-Ed Champions.